To Michael Slater, and in the commentary box, Ian Chappell and Greg Chappell.
Pakistan captain comes in to bowl to Michael Slater. The first ball, and he's got it to swing late. There's an appeal. Darrell Hare has a good look at it. There's a bit of movement there already for Wasim Akram as he's got the ball to duck in very late to Michael Slater. Probably hit him just outside the line of off stump.
Big shout there from Wasim Akram. He was very disappointed that he didn't get the decision.
Swing again, this is an appeal, and he's got him this time. And the Australians have lost their first wicket. Wasim Akram, the Pakistani captain, is really pumped up. He's got some movement. He's keen to get through the top order, and he's got a very, very important breakthrough for his team here.
Well, he was disappointed he didn't get the first one, but there was never any doubt about this one. Bang on the toe. That's very similar to the one that Saqlain got at the Gabba, and umpire Hare had no hesitation on that occasion. And the Pakistan captain has done exactly what his team needs, leading from the front. Wasim, he's a fine cricketer. Michael Slater is gone for naught.
David Boone, the local hero, walks out to the middle of Bellerive Oval a little bit earlier than he would have expected or would have hoped for. The pull shot, he's hit that pretty well. Wasn't all that short. Didn't bounce perhaps as much as Mark Taylor might have expected, but he just waited for it and tucked it away on the leg side. Good timing. Waqar Younis under a cloud before the game. Pronounced fit. Drive and a miss. It's in the air. They're appealing. Umpire Dickie Bird's not moved, and nor is David Boone. Seemed to be well missed by David Boone driving. He's not very happy with the way the Pakistanis are jumping up and down, but they've every right to appeal. It's up to Dickie Bird as to whether it's given out. Waqar Younis not too happy.
Must have been David Boone hitting the ground or something, because certainly Boone wasn't ever thinking that it was out.
This one's in the air, but well and truly over. One bounce into the fence. You can't afford to give David Boone that much room. He's just hit through the line, opened the blade a little bit, didn't worry about keeping it down. Smashed it away to the backward point boundary.
Oh, he's hit that one away beautifully. What a magnificent shot, and this is going way over the top. A magnificent pull shot by Taylor. Short, fast delivery, and he was onto it in the flash, and he's deposited that right amongst the crowd down a deep square leg. A magnificent shot for 6. 1 for 32. The youngster Mohammad Akram is going to replace Waqar Younis. That's a lot better work. It's going to cost Pakistan some runs, but it was worth the risk there to take the chance of getting the wicket. It has cost Mohammad Akram 4 runs.
Ijaz was the fielder. He picked it up beautifully and went to throw in the one action. I dare say we'll just have a look at it side on, but Mark Taylor was going to be struggling. He got a favourable bounce, and Mark Taylor was certainly struggling. He was out by a good metre.
Wide of third slip. So good bit of bounce there for Mohammad Akram. He didn't have much luck in Brisbane, and fortune is still evading him. Oh, that's a lovely shot. He's already clipped him once off the toes for 3. This time it goes a bit further.
The runs coming very fast for Australia at the moment. 13 runs from the last 3 balls.
Mushtaq has been given the ball.
Umpire Harold Bird has called for the television adjudication. Need to see if the ball hit the stumps. Also need to see if the wicketkeeper managed to take the ball or if it was bumped back onto the stumps. So umpire Harold Bird can't see because he's behind the wicketkeeper. Now the wicketkeeper has taken the ball And he's got it back there, and off come the bails, and off goes David Boone in just a moment or so. Has meant that David Boone has been dismissed for 34 run out after a misunderstanding with Mark Taylor, and it's 2 for 68. Mark Waugh is the batsman, comes out to replace David Boone, dismissed by that brilliant piece of fielding.
Noam Khan had his problems in Brisbane, had some problems early today gloving the ball, but he dives away to his left hand and throws the ball back through the stumps. David Boone well short of his ground.
There's 4 to be added to that with a full toss. Waugh placed that beautifully wide of the man at mid-off. Skipper Wasim Akram. Mark Waugh's gone for him. Last over before lunch, the bowler wouldn't have been expecting it. Not sure if Mark Waugh was expecting it. He's got it away through mid-wicket.
Now, Wasim Akram started operating from the river end. He's now decided to swing around. Oh, and he got a glove on that one now. The question really is, did it flick his gloves? Did it hit Mark Waugh's gloves, or did it flick his thigh pad? It's seen by the reaction of Wasim that it might have flicked his glove, and indeed the umpire has given a run to the batsman, which means that he considers that it hit the glove. So it's well played. Lovely cover drive. That'll go all the way to the fence. Beautiful timing from Mark Waugh. And that brings up the 100. So Australia, just 2 wickets down now, have reached 100. And attempted a Yorker, good shot again, straight down the ground this time. It's really screaming across this outfield. That's the long boundary down there. May not just quite make it, but they'll be looking to run 4 in any event. Good over for Australia, 10 runs from that one. 3 for 106. Oh, he's got him. He's dragged that one back onto the stumps. It's worked for him. Wasim Akram has struck again. That angle across the left-hander. Taylor went for the cover drive. Big inside edge, dragged back onto the stumps. And that is the end of the Aussie captain.
Well, another one where he's hit the stumps, Wasim Akram. Mind you, having seen Pakistan's fielding so far in this series, we're starting to realise why Wasim and Waqar have to get LBWs and bowled. So far he's got 1 LBW, 1 bowled, and Australia have lost their 3rd wicket. Mark Taylor, the captain, is gone, and it's 3 for 111.
Steve Waugh, the Aussie batsman that's really in form at the moment, and averaging 48. It's going up in leaps and bounds.
It's in the air, but it's gone firmly enough to the right of the man at backward point. So there's 4 runs there. There's no problem about any form of dismissal except the run out, because it was a no ball. 41 for Mark Waugh, 4 for Steve Waugh, 3 for 130. A nice shot. Well, they got 3 last time Mohammad Akram was chasing. They had no trouble with this one. That went 3 parts of the way to the boundary, so that's a bit more understanding. Mushtaq to bowl from the river end. There's a good shot. He's hit that quite beautifully. Almost without effort.
And this is what he's been looking to do against Mushtaq all morning, Mark Waugh. On this occasion, he gets it right. Mushtaq doesn't have the opportunity to change his length.
Beautifully played for his 50. That's a lovely stroke from Mark Waugh. They'll get 3 for that, and he'll move on to 51. A very good innings in only slightly more balls than you could call even time.
Mark Waugh has moved along to 60. Steve is on 7, 3 for 153.
He's gone for it, and he's been given out, caught behind. Steve Waugh trying to slash one away on the offside in the manner of Mark Waugh just before him. This time Moen Khan gloves it without any trouble at all. And the fourth wicket has fallen for Australia with Steve Waugh caught behind from the bowling of Mushtaq Ahmed.
Yes, and he deserved this too. He's bowled pretty well. Outside off stump, it spun back a little bit, bottom edge, and Moen Khan makes the catch. Big nick on that one. And Moen Khan really has been working away outside off stump there to Waugh. He's already had him playing and missing once. And that time, a little nick on it. Waugh's not happy. One of his rare low scores at Belrive. Out for 7, and Australia 4 for 156.
Greg Blewett is the new batsman for Australia, coming in at the fall of the fourth wicket. Had a magnificent start to his international career last summer. And has had some pretty good form so far this summer.
Oh, he's bowled him. It's a wrong one. Gone straight through the gap between bat and pad. Greg Blewett was a little bit apprehensive. He didn't want to go forward. He was a bit worried about the close infielder on the offside. He's tried to play it from the crease. Started to go forward, came back, and as the ball spun back, it's gone between bat and pad and crashed into the stumps.
Here's Greg Blewett, neck and crop here. Watch the wrong on there. The googly spins back, and he missed it by 3 or 4 inches. And he really is very happy. That's good bowling, and a vital wicket too. A little shake of the head there. And the duck accompanying him off the ground. So Greg Blewett bowled Mushtaq for a duck. 5 down for 156. Ian Healy, the new batsman, and always good to watch him bat.
Waqar Younis will continue from the Church Street end.
Runs for him this time. Just 2 slips in place. It's going to run all the way to the boundary. Musa Hale gives up the chase as that goes into the fence, so Ian Healy picks up 4. That's hit uppishly but beautifully through the covers, and it'll race all the way to the boundary. Just wide of the man at cover point and the man at short cover Ijaz. So he's picked the gap beautifully, Mark Waugh. Mushtaq about to start his 14th over in succession. Before lunch, Ian Healy straight down the ground. That's a beautiful shot. No one down at that vacant long on area, and he beats the man. Ramiz Raja at mid-on. Picks up 4 for his trouble. That's good aggressive batting from him.
Yes, his strike rate is as good as most batsmen, Ian Healy.
Represents a gift for Ian Healy. Beats Mohammad Akram at backward square, and he picks up another 4. Now, I was just saying that he hasn't erred on the side of being too short. This is one of the few times this morning where he bowls a long hop.
And that's a benefit gained by Ian Healy from his willingness to go down the ground.
Ian Healy's up in the air. Ramiz Raja is underneath it, and he's still got it. He never looked like catching it.
Well, Mushtaq, he'd be quite entitled to be very angry, because he's had an expensive over. He's got Ian Healy going after him. He kept taking up the challenge and tossed that one up to Ian Healy. Induced the poor shot, but the poor shot wasn't in the same category as the fielding.
Harold Dicky Bird from England, standing in his 65th Test match, his first on Australian soil. Short one again. This time Mark Waugh just glides it down the gap between second slip and the gully. Try and hit it too hard. And that's a gimme, really, for his 8th boundary of the innings. It takes him along to 73. Mark Waugh, in fact, went along to 77 with that boundary from the second last ball of Wasim Akram's over. Mushtaq Ahmed to Ian Healy, and again over the top. He doesn't mind hitting the ball in the air. He's done it with good effect on this occasion. Could have been out just before the lunch break, the afternoon tea break, in fact, but he survived that, and that brings up the 200 for the Australians. That's in the air as well, and it will clear Ramiz Raja at mid-on. Ian Healy, not scared to take a risk or two. And on this occasion, picks up 3 runs.
Well, he's hit that one in the air, and this one won't get caught. It's going to be safe, I'm sure. Yeah, no, it's not. Minor miracle, it's happened. He's caught it out there, and it's Basit Ali. And what's more, he's having a little smile at the crowd as well. I did not give him a price. He was running away. The ball was coming over his shoulder, and he's gone after it nice and casually, taken the catch, and then looked up at the crowd and said, well, there you are. It's not that difficult. So, another catch has been taken by Pakistan.
And the first man to get over there and congratulate him is the man in the bottom of the screen, Rameez Raja, who dropped one earlier, and that is quite a good catch, a very good catch. And look, what's difficult about that? I'm sure everyone expected me to catch it. Ian Healy has been caught. Basit Ali bowled Mushtaq for 37, strict 6 for 209. Paul Rifle, the right arm fast bowler, but more than useful lower order middle batsman. We'll have a change out in the middle with Waqar Younis replacing his captain.
That's a nice shot from Paul Rifle. The square drive favours the offside, particularly square of the wicket.
It's going to be Mushtaq Ahmed again.
Caught it mid-off. Yes, well taken. That's Mohammad Akram. He's a tall man and he got up nicely. That's a good catch when we've seen a lot of blunders made in the field by Pakistan. But he moved nicely to the ball and took it well. Good catch.
Paul Rifle will not be very pleased with this, and nor should he be. He's just sliced it away there to Mohammad Akram, who's gone up nicely for it. Good catch. And it's 7 for 235.
So Shane Warne is the new batsman for Australia. There's a higher score of 74 not out.
And that's well taken. Rameez is the man at long on this occasion, and that's a very good catch. Mark Waugh will be disappointed as he nears his century. In fact, I think he was looking for a 6, but Rameez at long on has taken a very good catch after having dropped one earlier on. That was an excellent catch. So Mushtaq has now got 5. It's 8 for 238. Craig McDermott is the new batsman. A good hitter. He'll be at the non-strikers end at the moment with the batsman having crossed. And that one's gone way back. That's up on the hill. So Shane Warne has clouted Mushtaq up onto the hill for 6. It's 8 for 244. On gone. Knocked off stump right over. And this is where Waqar excels. When he gets to those tail-enders, he just knocks them over very easily.
That's right. It was a very good delivery. Came into him. And good to see, really. I mean, it lifts the morale of the team. You know, it's a different story altogether.
So Waqar right on line here, crashes into off stump, and Craig McDermott has been knocked over. And it's a very good day for Pakistan here at Belrive. Things going much better than they did at the Gabba. McDermott has gone for a duck. And Australia are now 9 down. Glenn McGrath, and he's been very successful in the last few months in Test cricket, but more so as a fast bowler than as a batsman.
There he goes again. This time he'll clear the boundary once more. And again, it couldn't be caught on the hill, but they're really enjoying it. Good batting from Shane Warne. And valuable runs for Australia. That brings up the 250. And he goes again, and over it goes. Is it going to be caught? Yes! On the hill that time, 6 runs. So Shane Warne setting this crowd alight here at Belrive with some swashbuckling hitting. And Mushtaq Ahmed, who's bowled very well for the Pakistanis. No answer to Shane Warne, down on the one knee, and he's finding the boundary with consummate ease at the moment. Wasim Akram has seized upon the opportunity now with Glenn McGrath on strike to introduce himself into the attack. Clean bowled by Wasim Akram, so Australia lose their last wicket. And they're all out for 267. A pretty good effort that by the Pakistanis. There was a lot better fielding amongst them today. And their young leg spinner, Mushtaq Ahmed, taking 5 wickets. That's how it happened. Glenn McGrath, clean bowled by Wasim Akram. But a very, very good performance by the leg spinner, Mushtaq. comprehensively bowled.
Well, it was a good effort from Pakistan. Australia fought back well, and this is the way their card looked at the end. 267 with the top score, Mark Waugh, 88, 37 for Healy, and 27 not out for Shane Warne at the end with those sixes. Very, very good. Pakistan bowling, the best figures there. Mushtaq Ahmed back in the side now, 5 for 115, 3 wickets to Wasim Akram, and 1 for 54 for Waqar Younis. And here is the start of the Pakistan innings.
Glenn McGrath will take up the attack for Australia. He's going to bowl from the river end. That's a beautiful shot, 4 runs all the way. Beautiful piece of timing. Glenn McGrath giving Salim Alahi too much width outside of the off stump.
Craig McDermott. When he's hit that one firmly, it's gone to the boundary as well. So another one off the meat of the bat from outside off stump. Oh, he's bowled him, he's dragged it back onto the stumps. McGrath has struck. That was well pitched up just outside off stump. There may have been a little bit of movement back off the wicket, but it hit the inside edge of the bat and it dragged back on to middle of the
So I think that short delivery may have set up that the wicket. I think Alahi might have been looking for another short one, and instead he was out-thought by the quickie. Pitched the ball up, may have moved back a little bit off the seam, and Pakistan are 1 for 24.
So Mushtaq Ahmed, the leg spinner who bowled so well, has been asked now to come in and perform the role of night watchman. And he's out there to face the music now. McGrath to bowl to him. Oh, big appeal, this is gone. Yes, first ball, out LBW, well bowled, Glenn McGrath. Magnificent delivery, well pitched up. And again, just a fraction of movement there. It was a quick delivery too. And the night watchman, Mushtaq Ahmed, didn't get his bat in time. And he was out plumb.
Mushtaq Ahmed walking across in front of them, and that was plumb. So Glenn McGrath on a hat-trick.
Go on, Glenn. Get in there. Let's have a New South Welshman grab a hat-trick here. Well, this is the moment. He's got 2 out of 2. Can he get a third one? Straight back to him, and well played. He was right in behind that one. So Ramiz Raja is the man who went behind that one. But good bowling from Glenn McGrath.
Good effort from McGrath there to pick up those 2 wickets, 2 for 33, including the night watchman Mushtaq for Pakistan in reply to the Australians, 267. The bowling figures for the Australians, well, they did pretty well there with McGrath and McDermott. The only 2 bowlers used, 2 for 13 and no wicket for 19. A good performance from them. And the second day coming up tomorrow in this second test match between Australia and Pakistan. For the moment, from Belrive Oval in Hobart, it's goodbye. Back at Belrive Oval, we're waiting for the umpires and players to come out. Pakistan 2 for 33 at the moment, with Glenn McGrath having claimed both wickets. Well, during the course of this match, you'll notice the absence of Bill Laurie, who is on other duties for the 5 days here at Belrive. His daughter Susan is marrying Peter Radonich today, and we wish that happy couple all the very best. Also, we extend the same to Bill and Joy. We know that the daughter and Peter and Joy won't be nervous. We know that Bill will be desperately nervous. And in his absence, joining me in the commentary team will be Tony Greig and Ian Chappell and Greg Chappell and Greg Ritchie. Well, I've seen the first 3 today, but I haven't yet laid eyes on Greg Ritchie.
Come on, Greg.
Come on, Greg, you'd be late for the cricket.
No, come on, hang on. I've got a good one. Get the gaff. It's a big fish.
Come on, you got to hurry up. Come on, just get the eye bit of fish.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Just a little minute. I'm getting a good bite.
He loves ships and he loves aeroplanes and all sorts of things like that. Looked a good catch there. I'm happy to say that, in fact, he's just made it back in time for the start of play here. Now, out in the centre of the ground, at the moment, the umpires are getting themselves ready. The 2 batsmen are coming out. We had a night watchman come in, Mushtaq Ahmed, who had lasted only 1 ball. Glenn McGrath picked him up, having also got the opener, Salim Alahi. Amir Sohail, the left-hander who top-scored at the Gabba, is there, and a danger man for Australia. And those of you who weren't with us a few minutes ago when I talked about Shane Warne, just to say again that Shane Warne will not be on the field today. The only part he'll take in the match from this moment on is perhaps to bat in the second innings if necessary. He has a broken toe, the big toe of his left foot, and will be out of action for 2 weeks. And that is very sad news for Shane, who had a terrific match up in Brisbane and is a wonderful young cricketer. Just shows what a difficult game this can be. You can be up on top one moment and then injury can strike you down. And it's going to be Glenn McGrath to shoulder the initial responsibility here this morning. The Australian attack has plenty of work to do without Shane Warne. And in the commentary box, about to start the work for the day, Tony Greig and Greg Chappell.
Thank you, Richie, and a very good morning to everyone around Australia and those of you watching this telecast overseas. Glenn McGrath did the damage yesterday on his way, first ball of the second day. McGrath's figures 2 for 13 in 4 overs yesterday. Well, that's short and well played. He's got that one away. Not right off the meat of the bat. No ball called, but it won't reach the fence. And once again, it is an example of the attacking nature of Amir Sahel.
The wide one.
It's gone for it again. That's in the air, but it's going down towards the boundary. Quite uppishly played, but it will just roll into the fence.
That's a nice stroke. The 12th man on the field, Brendan Julian from Western Australia. One of the tourists in the Caribbean, and that triumphant tour for the Australians. And he's on the field because of that injury Tony Greig was talking about, the one to Shane Warne, where he's broken the big toe of his left foot. He'll be out of action for 2 weeks. Good Yorker. That injury to Shane Warne occurred yesterday. It was rather an unusual one. You need to watch closely because I think it's where he lifts his toe, the ball just brushes it. And he's got a fracture of it. Now the toe comes up now, ball clips it, and then goes on and hits him on the pad. There was an appeal for LBW, which was negative by umpire Harold Bird. Attempted Yorker again. But Ramesh Raja is able to handle that. Not even Blewett can get that.
Well, he's certainly played some magnificent strokes during the over, Ramesh Raja. This time a cut shot which he gets into the gap. He's a very good striker of the ball off the back foot square of the wicket. There is a lot of fluency about his batting this morning, and there's a lot of timing about it as well. He doesn't bother to run too hard for that one. So Glenn McGrath copying a bit of a pasting at the moment.
It's 2 for 66. The situation here this morning is that Pakistan started at 2 for 33. Amir Sohail and Ramesh Raja were the not-out overnight batsmen. They've taken it on now to 2 for 75, 31 to Sohail and 29 to Ramesh Raja. Batsman out yesterday, Salim Alahi for 13, and Mushtaq Ahmed first ball to McGrath. 22.5 overs gone, so they're scoring at 50 runs per 100 balls or thereabouts. But the umpires have decided they'll just go off the field and wait to see what transpires. We've had almost exactly an hour's play. Drinks were just about to be brought out. They could easily involve hot soup and a bit of a toddy today. The Pakistan batting car, just a reminder of what position they're in at the moment. 2 for 78 with Amir Sohail on 32 and Ramesh Raja 29. The batsman now Salim Alahi 13 and Mushtaq first ball to McGrath. They're coming out onto the field now. Umpire Darrell Hare on the left, just tossing the ball back to the Australian players.
And gone. Ian Healy's taken the catch. And Sohail seems a little bemused by finding out that the umpire's got his finger in the air. The Australians seem quite confident that he got an edge.
That was a very big noise. Beautiful piece of bowling again by Paul Rifle. He's just looked to angle the ball across the left-hander. And he doesn't look at all interested. Can't believe it. There's the look on his face. Unfortunately, when the umpire puts his finger up, you have to go. But Amir Sohail not at all happy about that decision. Gone for 32. Pakistan now 3 for 79.
Inzamam Al-Haq, well, generally number 4 batsman, but because of the night watchman, he drops back to number 5. Very good average of 46.15 for Inzamam. In the air and safe. Away for 4. Hit that pretty well.
He's played some good pull shots this morning, Ramiz Raja, but none too much better than this one. Keeps his eye on it. Knew he had to beat the infield, so he was prepared to go in the air with it.
Advertise the fact this one's going to McDermott, and he's dropped it. In fact, Ramiz was heading for the pavilion. So good delivery, the plan all set up there by Paul Rifle. It comes unstuck when McDermott drops the catch.
He's got one of the best pair of hands in the Australian team, Craig McDermott. He doesn't move too well to this one. And that's what got him in problems. He's late to go, and I think it just floated back on him a little bit. He wasn't happy with the position he was in. Craig McDermott will be a little bit disappointed and be trying a little bit extra harder to dismiss Ramiz, who's smashing him to all parts at the moment.
Yes, that's rubbing a bit of salt into the wound when you've just dropped the man and he goes smashing it down the ground twice in the one over. It'll probably just serve to make McDermott a little more angry.
Lovely shot. Not a lot of footwork, but his head was positioned beautifully and he kept it down. Timed it to perfection.
And again, that'll bring up the century. He has looked a lot more confident in this match than he did at the Gabba, Ramiz. And that'll be 3 boundaries in the over for Ramiz. That one not quite as convincing as the others. Good over for Pakistan. It's 3 for 106.
Allows you to obey the ball.
Inzamam has played that well. The difference between Inzamam pulling and Ramiz, Inzamam pulls by rolling his wrists and hitting the ball straight to ground. That's the safer method.
He sweats on the shorter ones. Inzamam gets into good position. Not a lot of movement, just rocks onto the back foot, picks the gap at mid-wicket.
He's flicked that one nicely into the gap. It's running down to that's perfect placement. Well, Ramiz flicking that one off his toes. It was pretty well pitched up. He decided to play the little flick shot around the corner. He had 2 men back on the boundary. He had to bisect them to get 4, and he did.
Good placement here by Ramiz. Didn't try and hit the ball too hard. Just rolled the wrists on it, flicked it in the air for a long way.
Got him, cotton ball. Yes, he's knocked it straight back to him. In fact, they've been expecting him to do that. They've had the field placed for one that he pops up in the air. And what's he done? He's popped it straight back to the bowler. So Rifle has struck again a good planned cotton bowl.
Good, sensible bowling here from Paul Rifle. He's kept the ball around the off stump. Again, the slower one, rolling the wrists over it. And rather a lazy shot from Ramiz. Just popped it back to the very safe hands of Paul Rifle. He'll be pleased to take that, and so will Craig McDermott be pleased that he's taken it. Pakistan now 4 for 126.
Ijaz Ahmed called out to join this touring party once his brother-in-law Salim Malik had injured his thumb, all those stitches. He's out there in the centre now, 27. He's had an interesting career. He had a break of 4 years from Test cricket. Last played about a year ago.
That's a lovely shot. It's not going to go all the way to the boundary. It's very well saved out there by Brendan Julian. And he saves 2 runs, 2 certain runs, cut off the 4, and the batsman only made 2. 4 for 139. Inzamam on 27. Ijaz Ahmed on 1. In fact, there'll be a few more than that. He's just gone over the top of mid-on, all the way into the boundary. So 4 runs to Ijaz. Now we'll have a change in commentators. It's going to be Greg Chappell, and with him, Ian Chappell.
Thank you, Gregory. As I see Ijaz go after Mark Waugh's off-spinners. Gets a lot of elevation. This time goes the aerial route and gets it all the way to the boundary. So Pakistan 4 for 149. Chasing the Australian total of 267 as we see Mark Waugh just giving, oh sorry, it's Steve Waugh in fact coming on from the Church Street end, just getting some of the moisture from the black soil off the bottom of his shoes. It's also quite slippery for the bowlers in these conditions. The umpires each have a small piece of towel which the bowlers can use. Down the leg side, he's given him out, caught behind, and Steve Waugh immediately strikes for his captain. Inzamam Ul Haq again a little bit lazy in his footwork, a little bit lazy in the way he's played. Just touches the ball down the leg side, and Ian Healy does the rest.
Yes, he'll be very unhappy with himself, Inzamam. It really is easy runs for a batsman down leg side, and he's just managed to glance it straight to the keeper at a time when Pakistan should be enjoying the better of these conditions. Inzamam is gone, and Pakistan are 5 for 150.
Bazat Ali is the new Pakistan batsman, 24 years of age. So Steve Waugh has made an immediate breakthrough. Bazat Ali gets off the mark quickly, as we lost 50-odd minutes before the lunch break for bad weather. And 19 after, and this time he's given him out. Darrell Hare, no hesitation on this occasion. And that's 50 test wickets to Glenn McGrath. And what a performance it's been through the Caribbean Tour, the Brisbane Test match, and he's on target again here today.
Bazat Ali not very far forward there, and there's no reason in the wide world not to give that out. That's plumb. Bazat Ali, you'll find, is just a few centimetres in front of the crease. He might be a little disappointed to be given out, but he has no reason to be disappointed, except it's with his own batting. And that is the 6th wicket down with the score at 155.
Moin Khan, the wicketkeeper batsman, joins Ijaz Ahmed out in the middle for his first delivery. Then McGrath really steamed up and steaming in from the river end against the Pakistanis, both in Australia and last year's tour of Pakistan. There's a bouncer, and that's a good hook shot. Moin Khan hits the ball very sweetly.
Oh, and that one's been smashed away. Short ball first up, and really played beautifully away on the onside. We've seen some pretty good hook shots played by the Pakistanis. That's his 3rd 4. Ijaz not wasting any time getting stuck into McDermott. He goes in with a short one first up. Have a look at that. Whacked it just over the top of David Boone, and it raced away for 4. Oh, he's bowled him neck and crop. Now, what a dreadful shot that was. He was trying to whack that one away on the onside, and as you can see from those stumps, it hit around about middle and off, and really that's a huge blow. Moin Khan, who actually has played some quite tidy shots out there, just not able to control himself, and McDermott has struck.
Well, beautiful piece of bowling from Craig McDermott, getting the ball to move in, a little bit of reverse swing, not a good shot from Moin Khan, hitting right across the line, and you can see there the reaction of Craig McDermott. Something finally going his way. His teammates in to congratulate him. They want to see him do well as as well. A great breakthrough for Australia. Pakistan lose their 7th wicket now, 7 for 173.
We've got a new man out there, Waqar Younis, who's in at number 10 for Pakistan. He's out there because he's captain. He's back in the pavilion. McDermott continuing a fruitful over here. And again, an attempt at a Yorker there, and a lovely shot there off his toes from Waqar. That's a ball he bowls so often. He must know a bit about it. He played that very well indeed. Oh, he's had a go at that one. That's a good shot right off the meat of the bat. It was a straight delivery, and he's whipped it away down to the boundary for 4. The Pakistan flag there fluttering away as that one hit the fence. 8 for 195. Oh, he's got that one in the air. It's going over the top. This could be out. Oh, that was very nearly a tremendous effort by Slater. He really had to make some ground back, watch the ball as best he could. He got off the straight there a little bit, and then went up in the air, got his left hand to it, but didn't quite hang on.
I think you'll find that it's come out of his hand when he hits the ground. He did very well to get a hand on it, and it hadn't quite stuck. I thought for a moment that it had stuck, but it was always coming out of the hand. It just hit on the heel of the palm there.
Wacker's hit it in the air. Brendan Julian's the fieldsman there. He's come forward. He's claimed the catch. Batsman stands his ground. Umpire Dickie Bird is looking across to his partner Daryl Hare at square leg, and he's given him out, and that's it. Brendan Julian did one of the more difficult things in fielding. He had to dive forward to take the catch. That's not always easy. Waqar Younis wasn't certain, so he stood his ground.
Waqar going for the big drive, just slices it, and Julian makes good ground. He's a tall man, a big man, not easy for him to come forward and go down. No doubt in the minds of the Australian fielders that the catch was fairly taken. And then Dickie Bird asked the question of umpire Daryl Hare, and he made the decision as well. So Waqar Younis goes out for 10. Pakistan now 9 for 198.
Mohammad Akram, the young fast bowler, is the last man for the Pakistani batting lineup. Comes out to join Ijaz Ahmed and face Paul Rifle. And there's an appeal for LBW, probably hitting him outside off stump. Paul Rifle took a wicket with his previous delivery. That one was very close.
That's given him out this time. That's LBW right on the toe, and there could be another one with a sore foot. Shane Warne is out of the game, or certainly out of the bowling department because of a blow on the foot yesterday. And Mohammad Akram walks right in front of the stumps, and he's struggling. He's hit him flush on the left foot, possibly not on the toe, I think more on the side of the foot, right in front of the stumps, just on the ankle. Would have hit the middle stump. So the Pakistanis have been bowled out here. Paul Rifle picking up his 4th wicket for the innings, just on the crease as most of the batsmen were. The Pakistanis really let themselves down here today. They had a chance to put some pressure on the Australians, got him just under the protective padding on the ankle. The young fast bowler might find it a bit hard to run up with enthusiasm this afternoon. So a 69-run lead here for Australia. Pakistan bowl out for 198 in the first innings here at Bellerive.
That was a brilliant performance from the Australians here at Bellerive Oval today. A lead of 69. It looked for all money when Pakistan started off that they'd in turn be able to get a first innings lead. In fact, they were all out for 198. Amir Sohail 32, Ramiz Raja 59. One or two of them got a start on. Inzamam 27, Ijaz remained 34 not out. Last man out, Mohammad Akram. LBW Rifle no score. And the bowling figures for the Australians. McDermott bowled better today than Brisbane. 18 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 72. McGrath 3 for 46. Rifle 4 for 38. Mark Waugh none for 23. Steve Waugh 1 for 18. Shane Warne, remember, is injured. Couldn't play, and that makes it even a better performance from the Australians to take a lead of 69 after making 267 in their own first innings. Back at Bellerive for the resumption of play in just a few moments. Umpires Harold Bird, the international umpire, and Daryl Hare, the local Australian umpire, on their way out. The Pakistan team Just getting themselves sorted out with a bit of fielding practice there to start the late afternoon session here at Bellerive Oval. 27 overs to be bowled today, and play can go on until 4 minutes past 7. The Australians lead by 69 at the moment. Coming out to the centre now, Mark Taylor and Michael Slater. Michael Slater is on a pair, and in the commentary box, Greg Chappell and Greg Ritchie.
Thank you, Richie. Michael Slater and Mark Taylor have the job of stretching the Australian lead. So the Australian captain will be facing the Pakistan captain as the second innings starts. The first ball less eventful than the first ball of the first innings. And there he's off the mark. Should be at least 2. Michael Slater will be facing Wasim Akram for the first time in this second innings. Akram got him out in the first innings as an appeal, and a half-hearted one. The bowler was quite keen, but behind the wicket was only a mixed effort. Umpire Dickie Bird umpiring at the river end. No hesitation.
There's a lot of breeze out there. It's going to be hard for anyone to hear a nick. Wasim Akram had no doubts at all that Michael Slater had got a little bottom edge on that. We'll just have a look here and see if we can see any deflections. There was some sort of noise.
Slater again very keen to get away from the strike. Working on the theory that it's hard to get out at the non-striker's end. This time the pull shot from Mark Taylor. Not overly elegant, but very effective. None for 11, which stretches the Australian lead to 80. Scored 267 in the first innings. Pakistan made 198 in reply. For those of you who might be just coming in after a day of sport, Shane Warne didn't take any part in the Australian fielding performance today. He has a broken toe on his left foot, having been struck on the toe yesterday by this man, Waqar Younis. As you can see, Waqar Younis bowling to Mark Taylor. Here's a go at the stumps, and didn't quite make contact. Rarely miss the action. And there's a bit more action now as Mark Taylor gets a top edge, one bounce into the boundary. And the spectator, in his desperate attempt to field the ball, falls into the field of play.
He played some lovely pull shots and hook shots in the first innings, Mark Taylor. This time he gets a little bit of top edge in it. Still manages to get it square enough out of harm's way of the fielder at fine leg. And we'd have to give that about a 4.5. The dive I was talking about. The stroke gets 4.
But again, the cameramen do the job, get all the action. They'll be looking forward to getting inside, as will the players. Again, the pull shot comes out. They've got the fieldsman set there at back with square leg, Mushtaq, but he's got no chance on this occasion.
Unusual stroke. Looked as though he's off balance for a moment, but he certainly clipped it away quite beautifully. Just rocked onto one foot, and it's no wicket for 34. The lead more than 100. He got Taylor. Oh, if he hits, he's out. And he's missed. It's only going to be overthrows. Now, what on earth was Slater doing there, do you reckon? Taylor, well, certainly didn't look as though Taylor had called him for a single. Taylor was all mixed up with his footwork against a very good delivery. Nowhere in the world Taylor was going to go. He was shouting no, but Slater was on his way.
Yes, I think it might have been that footwork. Just watch him here. He bounces, he thinks about it, starts to go, and then says no straight away. Slater keeps coming, and he's halfway down the pitch there. All this had to do was hit, and he was out by 5 metres, and it missed. Well, screamed away down to the boundary. Mohan Khan wasn't really moving. It was a little edge, which well, it might be a bit severe. He closed the face on it. He's actually guided away down to fine leg as a quick delivery. You can see flying away there. Mohan thought about it for a second, but the ball really was past him.
None for 41 Australia, so the lead has crashed through the 100 barrier now. Taylor 22, Slater 17. Mohammad Akram, the bowler. That's a nice stroke. Good forcing shot off the back foot, beautifully executed. And well run.
Yes, that was very well run. Back for the third. They knew it was hit out to Ramiz this over. And that brings up the 50 partnership.
None for 52, Slater 20, Taylor 30. Good opening stand from these two players. Mushtaq Ahmed to bowl. It's a wild appeal.
Yeah, it was more like a plead, really. Here we go, let's have a look at it. A bit of pad of the bat right there. Very seldom do the umpires give those.
Well, hit like a rocket. That'll take a bit of shine off the pill. It's none for 73.
As it's interesting to see Wasim Akram, the captain, out there just at mid-on at the moment. Just had a little talk to Mohammad Akram as he went back to his mark. Still choosing not to have a man down at third man. And the opposition's got a lead in excess of 150. With no wickets down, you'd think he'd have one.
There's another short one, and that's going to go a long way back. Well, that's their 900 partnership. A lovely shot there, pulled away down towards the square leg boundary, and that brought a smile to his face. So they've equalled Laurie and Simpson in terms of that record of 100 partnerships. It's no wicket for 103. Well, things really are closing in now. A bit of rain beginning to fall as well. So one run off that over. It's no wicket for 107, and Dickie Bird has decided to have a little stroll over to have a chat to Daryl Hare, and I suspect that they'll be heading off pretty shortly. Yes, Taylor's decided, yes, we'll agree this time, and off we go. So that's the end of the day's proceedings. No wicket for 107. A great start by the Australians. 176 runs ahead. Taylor is 42, Slater 62, and we look forward to your company tomorrow.
Hello and welcome to highlights of the third day's play here, the second test between Australia and Pakistan at the Belrive Oval, with Australia in a very, very strong position. You see 267 Australia made in its first innings, and Pakistan really had the opportunity to put them under some pressure. A very fine bowling performance by Mushtaq Ahmed, the leg spinner for Pakistan, taking 5 for 115, and Mark Ward did all the damage in terms of the batting for Australia. He scored 88. So Pakistan really the opportunity to post a first innings lead. They couldn't do it with some pretty poor batting. They were bowled out for 198, but some very good bowling from the Australians. Glenn McGrath once again picking up 3 wickets, and Paul Rifle, the best of the Australian bowlers, at 4 for 38. So Australia with a 69-run lead. They came out, and Michael Slater really took it to the Pakistan bowlers. He smashed them to all parts. They were too short and too wide to him. He got great support from his captain, Mark Taylor. And they are both there on 62 and 42 not out, respectively. Australia, no wicket for 107, an overall lead of 176, which put them in a tremendous position and an opportunity this morning to really consolidate for their side and put Australia in an unbeatable position here in the second test. We pick up play from the very first ball. Wasim Akram, the Pakistan captain, is the bowler. He's bowling to Michael Slater, and your commentators are Ian and Greg Chappell.
Well, he's on the attack straight away, and so's Michael Slater. The ball going perilously close to the fine leg fieldsman. Tried the pull shot, high on the face of the bat. Flew much finer than he was aiming. Slater cutting, he likes that.
He's continued right on from where he left off last night, Michael Slater, seeing them extremely well.
Mushtaq Ahmed will take up the attack from the Church Street end.
Faster one, there's an LBW appeal and he's got him. That's the quicker delivery from Mushtaq, and some very good bowling we've seen from him this morning. A few flighted deliveries, then the faster one, forcing him onto the back foot, right in front of the stumps, and that's a disappointed Michael Slater. Heading back to the pavilion, the first Australian wicket has fallen this morning, and the bowler who did the damage in the first innings, Mushtaq Ahmed, has struck again.
As Michael Slater disappears. Well bowled, Mushtaq. He kept him pegged back in the crease, then gave him the quicker top spinner, and umpire Hare had absolutely no hesitation. That's good, thoughtful bowling from the leggy. Michael Slater is very annoyed with himself. It's 1 for 120.
So David Boon, the number 3 batsman for Australia, strides to the crease, keeps the right-hand, left-hand combination going. There's a Akram. Just enough room for Mark Taylor. He's very strong in that area. He doesn't need much width.
And Boon is gone. Going for the drive, and Mushtaq has struck again. It's a good spell. He's come on this morning, bowled a good tight line and length, just spun the ball a little bit, not all that much. We may find that that one was the one that spun away from the right-hander, just a little.
Yes, Boon won't be very happy when he sees this replay. That was pitched quite wide. Boon, having been tied down, went after that little leg break, and it was quite a long way away from him. He succeeded only in getting a bit of bat on it, and it really has ballooned out. So, a duck to David Boon. He'd be very disappointed with that. Australia now 2 for 125. So Mark Waugh is the new batsman, taking over from David Boon, who will be sitting in the dressing room now a little bit disappointed with that shot.
That's cracking straight. 50 for Mark Taylor. Fine stroke.
Yes, that was beautifully played. Just a little bit short, and he was onto it in a flash. Quite a tidy crowd again, especially in that little hill area here. Belreven, that's got him. He's dragged that one back onto the stumps. He's tried to push that one away square on the offside, and once again Akram, who gets that ball to nip back a little bit, has found the inside edge, and it's gone straight back onto the stumps. And so really Pakistan are having a fantastic morning here. They've got rid of Mark Waugh now, and that means that there are now 4 wickets down. This is the dismissal again.
One of the reasons Pakistan are doing so much better this morning is that they're bowling with common sense rather than just with muscle. Mark Waugh has gone now. 3 for 132 here at Belgrade.
So Stephen Waugh, the new batsman, replacing his brother, who was out bowled by Wasim Akram for 3.
Now Mushtaq Ahmed still bowling to quite an attacking field. 2 attacking if he's going to bowl full tosses on leg stump. It's beautifully guided away by Mark Taylor. Just out of the reach of the fielder at forward square leg. Well, that was different. A little round armour from Mushtaq Ahmed. There was a little smash over mid-wicket by Mark Taylor. It's 3 for 162. That's very well fielded. And the problem here, Steve Waugh will have to hurry. Wasim Akram has a problem himself. He's got into his right hand, and he's in great pain straight away. Steve Waugh gets back safely.
Waqar Younis is going to continue from the river end. He'll be bowling to Stephen Waugh. That's off the shoulder, and a very good decision that by Dickie Bird. The hands were dropped very early, and the ball just flicked Stephen Waugh on the right shoulder as it went through. That was very obvious to umpire Bird.
Well, that is silly cricket by Pakistan. Australia very nearly made them pay. Mark Taylor was awake as soon as he saw that Waqar wasn't going to pick the ball up, that he was going to soccer it. Mark Taylor was starting to head down, and at the same time called to Steve Waugh to look for a run if the ball went astray. See there, Taylor was awake to what was going on. Steve Waugh thought there might have been a bit of danger, though, with the fielder actually running towards the bowler's end.
On drives this time beautifully. Stephen Waugh beats Mohammad Akram at mid-on. They're very close to running for here. Mark Taylor a little slow on that third one. They'll settle for 3. One of the few times that we've seen the batsman come down the wicket to Mushtaq Ahmed this morning and play the drive. Stephen Waugh on this occasion did it very, very well. And that's one of the rare loose deliveries that Mushtaq has bowled this morning. And very good running between the wickets there from Mark Taylor. He was back in a flash and picked up 2. 47 at the moment Stephen Waugh and Mark Taylor have put on. Australia 3 for 179. That's a beautiful stroke. He's pretty well bowled. He's pitching it up to Stephen Waugh now, realising that he's not going to trouble him too much more with the short deliveries. Stephen Waugh equal to the task, and with that drive and 3 runs brings up the 50 partnership between Mark Taylor and himself. So a valuable one for Australia, steadying the ship after 3 wickets lost this morning.
Mohammad Akram, the bowler, Steve Waugh taking straight. Well, umpire Harold Bird is impressed to the extent of giving Steve Waugh out. There was a long pause there when Steve Waugh didn't appear to be at all interested in, first of all, the appeal and in what was going to happen. And then umpire Bird took a long, long time to make his decision.
Yes, I think what he's doing here is he's picked it and he's given Steve Waugh time to go. Steve Waugh decides not to go. Dickie pauses and then says, that is out. And that's the end of Steve Waugh. And so a big wicket, that one for Pakistan. Mohan taking the catch there. And so Stephen Waugh caught behind for what I'm told is the 27th time in Test matches, 429. 4 for 189.
Greg Blewett is on a pair. Got a very good wrong one from Mushtaq Ahmed in the first innings. And now he's facing Mohammad Akram, who's just dismissed Stephen Waugh.
Yes, we'll have another look at that. Dickie Bird had a long pause. There it goes. Had a little, if he hit it, it was a very faint one. They all went up in one, though. I can't see that it hit anything else other than the bat.
That's a very, very good shot. That's the faster side of the ground. The ground does slope a little bit here at Bell Reeve. That is certainly faster, and it's a shorter boundary as well.
Yeah, beautiful shot, that one from Taylor. He really is timing the ball beautifully. Have a look at this. Onto the back foot and whack. Not too much force in that shot. He caressed it through the field. It wasn't a very good delivery, but nicely played.
And he's got that more off the move of the bat. That's not quite off the centre, but it's still going to go for 4. And that is the longest side of the boundary. So there's 8 off that over, and he took a wicket in the one before. It was 4 for 198. Blewett is still not yet off the mark.
Well, that's it through the gap as well. There'll be more runs here. This time Blewett getting off his pair. That'll be a relief for him. charging away there for 3. And that also brings up the 200.
One not out, his highest previous score against Pakistan. He'll be pretty pleased if he can beat that and go on and get a big 100. This time Mark Taylor gets down the wicket. Not too many of the Australian batsmen have got out of the crease to him. Mark Taylor does it with good effect here. It's a long boundary on that side.
Beautiful off drive by Mark Taylor. Good use of the feet. Mushtaq Ahmed only a small man, so when he pitches them up, they go quite a way up in the air. Taylor seizes upon the opportunity to come down the wicket.
As Mushtaq Ahmed continues from the Church Street end. There's an appeal. There's 2 noises, but I don't believe he's got anywhere near hitting it. There's quite a bit of consternation and demands and pleading from the bowler. I think you'll find that Greg Blewett's bat is tucked up inside his pad and the ball hits more the front or outside of the leg.
Greg Blewett not enjoying his time out there at the moment against Mushtaq. But, just have a look on this angle. There doesn't seem to be any likelihood at all that that's come off the bat. He's actually hit the inside of his pad.
Mark Taylor on the verge of his 14th Test century, sitting there on 98. He'll be facing Mushtaq Ahmed. Still a reasonably attacking field. 2 close catches. And that'll be it now. Mark Taylor will come back for the 2 that brings him his 14th Test century here at the Bellerive Oval. Good round of applause for him from an appreciative crowd, mainly Australian supporters in the crowd, a few flags waving. His 14th Test 100, his 3rd against Pakistan, his 9th in Australia, his 2nd at Bellerive. It's a ground where he's enjoyed batting. Made his debut for New South Wales here in Tasmania 10 years ago at the old TCA ground just up the road. He was 21 years of age. So it's really been a remarkable 10 years for Mark Taylor. Burst into the Australian side a couple of seasons later. Played magnificently in England. In his first tour of England, as we have a look at his wagon wheel.
That one away, and that's gone down to 3rd man. It may just make it. Him's the man after it there. Taylor 104. Oh, he's had a go at that one, whacked it down towards the square leg fence and into the boundary it goes. Set himself as it was up in the air to sweep it away on the onside, and he really does look like a man in form right off the meat of the bat.
This is his preferred spot when he goes over the infield, Mark Taylor. He likes to go to that mid-wicket area.
Got him straight to mid-wicket. He's hit that one very, very firmly and taken by Basit Ali, fielding just by the umpire. Well, a short delivery, and he really did get onto it. It went as flat as a tack, but Basit Ali was there and took it around about head high.
This was pretty well hit by Greg Blewett. It didn't appear to be that short. But by clipping it as he did, he hit it in the air and hit it straight to Basit, but hit it very quickly. It was a good catch by Basit Ali. Wasim Akram gets his 2nd wicket. And Australia are 5 for 233.
So Ian Healy, age 31, 113 not out, and an average of 26, but most importantly, he scores his runs real fast. Really good to watch he is, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes about his work today.
This is the dismissal of Greg Blewett. Hit the pull shot well, but because the ball didn't bounce very high, it went in the air. Basit Ali taking a good catch there. That ball flew very quickly to him.
Taylor on strike now with 109. Oh, down the wicket to that one, and it's gone down the ground, and he doesn't want to go. Is it going to get there? It's just gone past the wheel. I don't think it's got into the fence. Umpire Hare extracting from him that it definitely did go underneath that piece of wood down there just alongside the wheel. And he's given it for 117. Real captain's knock here. Well, that didn't bounce very much, and Moen trying to pick that up on the second bounce. It went flying away down to third man.
He did get an awkward bounce there, Moen, but he does contribute to his own problems because he stands way too deep.
There's no need to run for that one. That's 4 runs all the way, and those 4 runs take him past. Our co-commentator, former great Australian opening batsman and captain Bill Lawry. So another milestone for Mark Taylor as he plays a beautiful shot, just helping it on its way and beating Ijaz, the man at backward point. Bowled him neck and crop. That's a beautiful piece of bowling, the one that came back into Mark Taylor. He's been sliding across him and then brings one back, an in-swinger to the left-hander, and beat him all hands up. A beautiful piece of bowling.
Yes, indeed, a very good piece of bowling with the old ball, as we've said. Taylor's been there for nearly 6 hours, and we've beaten him with the in-swinging Yorker to finish a marvellous innings from Mark Taylor, his 14th Test century for Australia, his 68th Test match, 123 in the end. As people in the member stand giving a standing ovation. And the Australian captain out-bowled for 123. Have a look at Waqar Younis, just getting it to drift in, right up on the toes, and a wonderful exponent of the in-swinging Yorker, or the swinging Yorker, and that's a good delivery to get rid of the Australian captain. 6 for 255.
Paul Rifle is the new batsman for Australia, playing in his 18th Test match. 326 runs at an average of 20. So he's pretty handy with the bat down in the lower order for Australia, Paul Rifle. That's clean bowled him from outside the off stump. Well, Paul Rifle has not picked that at all, and Mushtaq beats him with the wrong one. All hands up, didn't even offer a shot. That's a beautiful piece of bowling.
Well, Mushtaq's wrong is his main strike weapon. We've said before he doesn't spin the leg spinner a great deal. He's thrown this one up, and Paul Rifle hasn't picked it. Pitched outside off stump. It's gone back between the legs and crashed into the stumps, and what a happy little man that is. That's the sort of thing a leg spinner just loves to do, is to slip the wrong one in, not have it picked, have someone pad up and for it to spin back. And there goes the sad duck across the screen, and Paul Rifle also quite sad. Australia 6 for 256.
Craig McDermott is the new batsman. He doesn't have as good an average as Paul Rifle, the previous batsman. Just averaging a little over 12. And it'll be interesting to see him play the leg spin of Mushtaq.
He's had a go at that one from just outside off stump, and he's got it away square on the leg side, although I think he was trying to get it over mid-on. And that hasn't quite reached the fence either. McDermott collecting 3. Watch this shot, trying to heave it from outside off stump. I tell you what, it went quite close to the head there, the crash helmet of the forward short leg. Oh, and a big appeal. This has got to be close. Did he get just outside the line? Akram is not happy at all. He's had a lot of appeals. He was playing that from the crease. It might have been just a little bit high as well. Let's have another look.
So it's got him up above the flap of the pad, and looked as though it was going over the top from that side-on picture. Waqar Younis bowling.
And at deep mid-wicket, will cut it off. It's Basit Ali.
Lovely shot this from Ian Healy. Very strong off his pads and a very good timer of the ball.
Dermott has really given that one a thump. And even with the slow outfield, that's going to make it. 7 for 289. Waqar leaving the field after that over. He was gentle medium pace in that over, and he looked like he might have been struggling with something. He indicated to his captain when he got thumped there by McDermott off the last ball that that was it. And then he's gone from the field, shaking his head. 3:59 the lead. Again, Fields were not backing the bowlers. I believe 365.
Well, Mushtaq here not getting the support he required at all. Good shot from Craig McDermott all the same, the square drive. But there's not a lot of commitment in that. For the young man who's toiled hard for his side, he'll be disappointed.
Shouts of catch it, and that's what'll be done by mid-on. And so Mushtaq, having a very good match, has picked up his 9th victim.
Craig McDermott leaves the field. He was looking to hit this one straight down the ground, never got a hold of it at all, went across the line. And presented the easiest of catches to Wasim Akram. So Australia lose their 8th wicket. It is now 8 for 296.
Glenn McGrath has come in, so this you would assume would be Australia's last wicket partnership. Shane Warne, I think the most important thing for him is rest and keep off his foot as much as possible. Glenn McGrath on strike because the skied shot by McDermott allowed the batsman to cross. So Mushtaq just getting enough turn there to cause the mishit, but McDermott really contributing to his own downfall by trying to hit through wide mid-on, mid-wicket area. And Ian Healy, well run. That's exceptionally good running by Ian Healy.
He really is the thinking man's cricketer, Ian Healy. Quick to seize upon every opportunity, no matter what facet of the game it is. Realising here that Glenn McGrath just played it right beside the stumps, and he was off in a flash and made it before any Pakistan fieldsman got to the ball.
Rameez, and he won't even stop it. He does have a huge fault in his fielding technique, Rameez. He tends to just turn and run in exactly the same direction as the ball rather than cut across and try and get to the ball.
Ian Healy showing the value of being aggressive again here, and as Ian mentioned, Rameez slow to take off and didn't want to get the creams dirty.
Enjoying themselves at Bell Reeve this afternoon. Obviously a local in the t-shirt.
It's out. Inzamam has taken the catch to finish the innings. Wasim Akram will be very relieved that it's all over. Inzamam a little bit shocked, I think. Not sure that he picked it up straight away.
Ian Healy going with a big drive, slices the ball off the outside edge. Wasim Akram
Picks up the final wicket.
Yes, it just started to go out a little bit, and Inzamam had that covered all the way. We watched it and took it around about chest height. It went quickly to him. You watch him here. Got his eye on the ball and whack. Thanks very much. And so that's the end of the Australian innings. And yet another one to Wasim Akram. 3 for 72 his figures, and Mushtaq Ahmed ended up with 4 for 83.
So it was a day that belonged to Mark Taylor. He made a beautiful century, his 14th in Test cricket, and that's the way that the Australian card looked. A couple of ducks there, one to David Boone, was disappointed with that, and one to Paul Rifle. But Mark Taylor was the man of the moment, 123 runs in a day which Australia really took the Pakistanis out of this match. 306 they scored. Not a lot of joy for the Pakistanis when they bowled. Wasim Akram took 3 wickets for 72 off 26.1 overs. He wasn't all that well supported in the field. Waqar Younis ended up going off the field with some problems to his back, 1 for 67. And Mushtaq Ahmed toiled very well again. He was the pick of the Pakistan bowlers, picking up 4 wickets for 83 off a mammoth 38 overs. So a wonderful performance by the Australians with the bat, and now Pakistan will have to score the 3rd highest winning total in the 4th innings to win this game of cricket.
And Craig McDermott will be going around the wicket to the left-handed Amir Sahel. And will be trying to attack the off stump as much as possible. Spanking red new ball in his hand. This time there's some runs. I doubt that there was any bat in it. Possibly just the thigh pad. Umpire Dickie Bird will signal leg byes. And the Pakistanis have opened their account. Salim Alahi took one between the thigh pad and the pad on from the last ball of the over. That's Amir Sahel. And on the back leg. I'd say he's got a nice little cork thigh there. He's creating some problems for him running between wickets.
So Ramiz Raja striding out there now. He'll take over from him.
That's a nice shot by Alahi. And Ramiz Raja back for the 3rd. So well run.
So that's how they finished. Just 9 overs bowled this evening. No wicket for 15. Amir Sahel was retired hurt. No score. Alahi and Ramiz 7 not out and 6 not out. So the Test match continues tomorrow, 11 a.m. Check your local guides. It's going to be a wonderful day of cricket. We'll look forward to your company tomorrow from Bellerive, but for now, from the Wide World of Sports team, it's good night. Welcome to highlights of Day 4, the 2nd Test between Australia and Pakistan at Bellerive Oval. What a wonderful day's play it's going to be. The situation in the match so far, Australia made 267, then Pakistan were bowled out for 198. The second innings for Australia, 306. Captain Mark Taylor, a beautiful century, 123. And then Pakistan had to bat late in the afternoon and reached no wicket for 15. Their opening batsman, Amir Sahel, retired hurt, copped a nasty blow from Craig McDermott. And Salim Alahi, Ramiz Raja, the not-out batsman, on 7 and 6. Pakistan required a further 361 runs for victory. If they do it, they'll create history by scoring the 3rd largest total in the 4th innings of a match to win the game. So it was going to be a wonderful day's play. We pick up play in the 2nd over. Glenn McGrath is bowling to Salim Alahi, and joining me in the commentary position is Greg Chappell. And he gets some runs off the mark with a little squirt down through the gully area. Picks up 3. He's got very good wrists, Salim Alahi. He hits the ball very late, particularly on the offside and square of the wicket. Craig McDermott is the bowler with the ball in his hand. That's beautifully bowled by Craig McDermott, one of the few shorter deliveries he's used, but well played by Alahi. He dropped the hands beautifully. Just wide of Mark Waugh at second slip. It doesn't matter because it was a no ball. And to add insult to injury, it's gone to the boundary for 4. The first signs of half a false stroke from the Pakistanis. Alahi with an edge off a no ball, just wide of Mark Waugh at second slip. He's done it again. Beaten Mark Waugh at second slip. It's running down to the boundary. Mark Taylor will cut it off. Just short of the boundary this time. Not before the Pakistanis complete 3 runs.
Off the edge and 1 bounce to Taylor. The angled bat there resulting in the ball going down. Didn't quite carry.
Yes, it just made the halfway mark to Mark Taylor.
Oh, and that's in the air. This could be out. Yes, there's a big appeal for it, and he's going to walk, in fact. Well, that was very interesting. That was a short delivery. It went straight up in the air. I'm not too sure that Dickie Bird was going to give that out. But he headed, I think it was perhaps just 2 steps in the direction of the pavilion, and then Dickie Bird's finger came up.
Yes, he was no doubt that Dickie was going to give him out. I think it's virtually come off the blade of the bat up round the splice. And the Australian players were never in any doubt. The batsman, I think, felt it was just so obvious that he was always going to be given out. Good bouncer there from Glenn McGrath, 1 for 27.
So Amir Sohail is the new batsman, coming out here at the fall of the first wicket today. He actually left the ground as a result of a blow on his back leg just above the knee.
Craig McDermott is the bowler with the ball in his hand. He's now bowling to Ramiz Raja.
Well, he's got onto that one. He's smashed that in front of square, running away down towards the boundary. Played a few hook shots. That one played in front of square, and it'll just run into the ropes. McGrath operating at the moment, 10 overs there. McDermott's also had 10. Oh, and just in front of Boone. Again, well bowled. That might have just nipped back a little bit.
You see a good example of his reflexes here. He was on the way forward, and that's not an easy thing to do when you're fielding so close.
He's had a go at that one and got it away well. That was just outside off stump. Ramiz looking for that hook shot again. Ended up pulling it away over the top of the wide bit on fieldsman, and in comes the throw, and that wasn't far away either. Slater getting the throw in. Had it hit the stumps, or had it been a little closer to the bails, it might have been very close.
He's not a fast runner, Ramiz, and he took off for the third with Slater having the ball in his hand. And an accurate throw would have had him in big trouble.
Amir Sohail is 3, Ramiz Raja 19, Pakistan 1 for 41. 4 rifles coming on now from the Derwent River end. We'll see if they can run 4 here.
No great sense of urgency between the wickets, just content with 3. But signs of aggression.
Up for Pakistan, so they've moved along very nicely this morning for the loss of Salim Alahi. Paul Rifle is the bowler coming in from the Derwent end. And no third man. 4 runs. Rifle is aiming for that. He bowled very well to the left-handers, keeps the ball going away from them. But there's no third man. Well bowled again, and it's going to cost him 4 more runs. But that was an authentic thick edge. Managed to keep it down from his right to the batsman.
He's given it LBW. The ball cutting back from outside off stump. Good delivery from Paul Rifle. Forced him back. Ramiz not eager to come forward at the best of times. When you've got a ball and a wicket that's going to keep low from time to time, you need to look to come forward. This one just short of a length, forces him back. Would have crashed into the stumps just over 2/3 of the way up. Middle and leg stump. Dickie Bird, no hesitation. And that's Paul Rifle's 300th first-class wicket. Pakistan 2 for 62. Inzamam Ul-Haq is the new batsman. He's a big fella, Inzamam.
little bit, well, I wouldn't say he was light on his feet. Inzamam, we've seen him in the field the last few days. He'll need to be light on his feet here today. He's the most experienced and the best performed of the Inzamam, of the Pakistan top order. Average of 45.
Yeah, just another quick look at that LBW. Oh, look, he's quite wide of the crease, comes back a long way. Yes, and my view is that he can consider himself just a little bit unlucky. Unfortunately, that's the end of that.
That's where he's very strong, Amir. That's why the field placings are arranged as they are. Mark Taylor knows he's strong square of the wicket. Again, outside off stump. Steve Waugh appeals. Just a shake of the head from Darrell Hare. They're quite happy to encourage Amir in this area. This time it's in the air again, but well and truly clear of any fieldsman. I'm not going to waste any time, but looks of it, he's come out there with some intent. He's not going to be tied down by the Australian bowlers.
That's a lovely shot. Right off the meat of the bat, and placement good too.
And there's an appeal again for a caught behind. There was a noise there. A number of the fieldsmen behind the wicket went up, some didn't. Paul Rifle appealed. That's how he got him out in the first innings, but Dickie Bird just warming the fingers up. It wasn't required on this occasion.
Yes, so let's see if we can see any deflection here. Perhaps he flicked his pad. I tell you what, they all went up as one.
Inzamam will make a meal of any of those.
Yes, that's a bad delivery, short outside off stump, and really is there for the taking. The silly point, David Boon wouldn't have enjoyed that too much. So much time just to get back there and smash it into the gap.
McGrath has been very tidy. This is his 16th over, and he has 1 for 37. Long chase for Michael Slater.
There's a lot of style about this man, Inzamam Al-Haq, when he plays his shots. He hits the ball beautifully on both sides of the wicket.
That one will go away to the boundary. That's the fourth boundary for Sohail, and it brings up the 100 for Pakistan.
The Australians have concentrated around the off stump of Amir Sohail all morning.
Craig McDermott is the man coming on now. He's going to be bowling with the breeze, coming in from the Derwent end. Well, there's 4 more. Lovely stroke. Craig McDermott's first ball, a loosener and a loose one. He's through that gap again, through extra cover, and he's timed it well enough. That is just going to beat Brendan Julian, who's not a slow mover, but that's a good innings. 2 for 123, Amir Sohail. He's top scored again. At the moment anyway, he's gone on to 53. That's the shot of the day so far. Beautiful placement and a wonderful stroke away off the back foot. Pierced the field. Wasn't all that bad a ball. It was just short enough to give Amir Sohail a little bit of room. Greg Blewett will bowl from the Church Street end. Bowls medium pace. Oh, he's picked up the wicket. He's broken the partnership. Mark Taylor has played a blinder. He's brought on Blewett. He's even had the tallest man in the team fielding at square leg to pull down the catch, and Amir Sohail has done a bit of damage to the succulent willow there on the way out. And this is why.
Yes, up he went, and well, you wouldn't want anyone shorter in that position. He really did have to get off the ground. That was a lack of concentration. It was there to play away on the onside. He made the mistake of lifting it in the air. and Amir Sahel went whack, lost his bat and took a huge divot out of that beautifully prepared square out there. But one can understand, after fighting so hard and playing so well, that he feels a bit upset. Out for 57, and Pakistan now 3 down for 132.
New batsman is Ijaz Ahmed. Comes out now at the loss of Amir Sohail's wicket to Greg Blewett. Blewett brought on as a change bowler. A bit of movement in the air there for Greg Blewett. 3 for 132. That's a good shot by Ijaz. And that is the fastest side of the ground by far. There's a bit of a slope down there, and it's also the drier area.
234 runs will win it for Pakistan from this point. They've got 7 wickets in hand. Greg Blewett to continue. In the air, but safe. Ijaz looking to be positive, just shaking his head. He realises the importance of the moment. It's a big appeal for LBW. No shot and he's gone. Darrell Hare has given him out. He's standing there and cannot believe it. But unfortunately, you're going to have to, Ijaz. When they put their finger up, you must walk. And Australia get another vital breakthrough. Greg Blewett picks up his 2nd Test wicket with a lovely delivery. Ijaz Ahmed out LBW for 4.
The in-swinger, ball swinging in late, batsman padding up. The decision the umpire has to make is whether it would have hit the stumps. Doesn't matter if it hits him outside the line. The only query is, would it hit the off stump? And Darrell Hare has said yes. And that's all that Ijaz needs to know. You can clasp your helmet, you can do whatever you like, son, but have a look in the paper tomorrow and you'll find you're out LBW, and Pakistan are 4 for 142.
17 Test matches for Basit Ali, a higher score of 103. His side will be desperately hoping that he can improve on that during this innings. 8 overs for Paul Rifle, 1 for 21. Greg Blewett, the most successful of the Australian bowlers, done a good job for his captain. 2 overs, or 4 overs, sorry, 2 wickets for 8 runs. Craig McDermott has been very economical, as is Glenn McGrath. Big appeal, and Dickie Bird fires the finger straight up, doesn't even hesitate. So Paul Rifle gets the breakthrough. Another bowling change by captain Mark Taylor. And what a day he's having as captain in the field. Everything he's doing turning to goal.
Paul Rifle gets this one to cut back. And that's the problem with Inzamam. He gets so far across to the offside that anything that's in line with middle stump, as that was, probably feels like it's outside leg stump to him. That's the 11th time Inzamam has been out at LBW in Test cricket, and I'm not surprised. He gets right in front of them, and he's the 5th wicket for fall for 152.
Moin Khan is the new batsman for Pakistan. Hasn't had a happy time of it, neither with the gloves nor with the bat. Has a higher score of 117 not out. A pretty healthy average, very similar to the Australian wicketkeeper in the average stakes, 26. Paul Rifle to continue from the Derwent end, and in the commentary position, Ian Chappell, and with him Tony Greig.
Oh, and he's gone off stump right out of the ground. So there was a period where Amir Sahel and Inzamam Al-Haq appeared to be getting on top, but now that has all fallen apart, and this Pakistan innings is disintegrating.
Certainly is. That was comprehensively bowled, that was. He'd probably nip back a little bit. Let's see if we can pick it up here. Pitches outside off stump, comes back sharply, and have a look at that off stump bounce. Right out of the ground. A lovely delivery there from Rifle. It did jag back off the stump, off the wicket, and that was the end of that. Very well bowled, and the Pakistanis now in real strife. 6 for 157.
Wasim Akram on strike, facing Paul Rifle. Rifle bowls so well to left-handers, but I think that statement we can probably adjust it now to the fact that he bowls pretty well to all batsmen. Neither Moen nor Wasim off the mark yet. 2 for 132 at one stage, Pakistan, and they weren't cruising, but they were going along steadily. In the air, just short of Michael Slater. Just amazing the way that Pakistan seem to lose their way when they're batting. A wicket falls and then all hell breaks loose.
Yes, and that could really so easily have gone straight to Slater. He came in as quickly as he could.
No third man. He's off the mark with a boundary. Rifle coming from the river end. That's the way he tends to play. Likes to throw the bat at them a bit. I think he's probably that's his best way of playing.
Yes, that's it. He's trying to hit that one away through mid-off, but got it away through mid-on.
That's more like the aggressive Wasim that we know.
Yes, it's almost as if he had decided this one's got to go. It certainly surprised poor Rifle. It wasn't really that bad a delivery. It was a bit short, and have a look at him. Despite the fact that it was short, he was onto the front foot and heaving it through mid-wicket.
Well, that's beautifully. It's 6 over cover. What a good shot.
Well, there's an example of Wasim Akram's timing. When he decides to hit them and connects, they stay hit. You don't often see sixes hit in that direction, but look at this. He's very strong, and have a look at the follow-through there. Magnificent shot, that is. Not that the Aussies will mind too much. They'd like to see him play a few shots. That one's cleared the fence. Lovely shot.
And Greg Blewett will continue his spell from the Church Street end. Well, that's also across court. One bounce into the boundary. This man's got quite a bit of talent with the ball in his hand, but he's also got a lot of talent with the bat.
He certainly is a sweet timer of the ball, Wasim Akram. Anything on his legs, he really does whip away. The shortest of backswings, not a big flourish and follow through, but very, very strong in the wrists. Just have a look here, not a big, it's just a forearm jolt, and a superb piece of timing.
This time it's a cracking off drive. And that'll bring up the 200 for Pakistan. Again, it won't go all the way. It's a long boundary down there. Greg Blewett this time, the retriever. The 200 coming up in the 76th over. The new ball's not far away. That's in the air, and that'll be out. Yes, it's well caught. Greg Blewett, the fielder at mid-on. There's been some very good catching here today. The Australians have been responsible for it. Ben McGrath will be delighted, as is Mark Taylor, with the catching of Greg Blewett on this occasion. Wasim Akram again looking to go over the top. Gets it very low on the face of the bat. And some good judgment from Greg Blewett.
This sums up the whole series for the Australians. They've been supreme in the field, superior when they've been offered chances. They've taken them just like that. Greg Blewett on this occasion has got great hands in the outfield. Applause from the crowd. They appreciate just what a good fielding side this Australian side is. Pakistan lose their 7th wicket, now 7 for 205.
Mushtaq Ahmed was the most successful Pakistan bowler in this test match with his best ever bowling. Took 9 wickets in the match. They'll need his best ever batting if they're going to do anything about this game. Mushtaq is there to join Moen Khan, thanks to a brilliant piece of catching by Greg Blewett.
They're athletic in the field, the Australians. They're quick on their feet, and they all possess very good hands. Greg Blewett absolutely delighted with that catch. He judged it to perfection. Wasim will be disappointed with the shot.
And gone. Mark Waugh got a beautiful pair of hands. So good bowling again from Glenn McGrath, reducing the shot outside off stump. And Mark Waugh couched it comfortably.
Well, as he went past Mark Waugh, the batsman gave him a long, hard look as though he couldn't believe it. That is commonplace for Mark Waugh, the sort of catch he's quite used to taking. The batsman may not realise that. Moin Khan, he made 16, but that was a very good piece of cricket. 8 for 210.
Australia seem to have knocked most of the fight out of Pakistan now. Waqar Younis coming in at number 10. He tends to play aggressively as a tail ender. Moen playing well away from the pad there, and that's beautifully taken by Mark Waugh. Looked pretty easy, but it was wide of him and going quickly. That's the way Waqar plays. Kid out there claiming a one-hand, one-bounce job.
That's the best way to deal with anything around about leg stump.
That's a good shot from Mushtaq. Better at the late cut than he is the square cut.
He's a good cricketer, this little fella, and he is little. He confesses to being several inches taller in his high-heel shoes.
Been a lot of kids here at the cricket today. They've seen the Australians do well. And here's a chance. Greg Blewett again. And Greg Blewett, that was a much simpler chance than the last one that he took. He's pretty happy to get them all. So Glenn McGrath finishing off this Pakistan innings pretty quickly.
It's a double for Glenn McGrath. He picked up Wasim Akram, and now the second part of the pace bowling pair, and on each occasion caught by Greg Blewett. A little bit of judgment had to go into it, but he might have circled around there just in slightly the wrong direction. Another wicket to the Australians, and it's 9 for 220.
Mohammad Akram is at the non-striker's end. Glenn McGrath now has figures of 4 for 61, having picked up his last 2 wickets in similar fashion, both of them caught by Greg Blewett.
For a moment, he might just have had the other fielder in his eye there, but he just kept his eyes on it very nicely and took it very safely in the end.
On, gone, middle stump. Spot on there from Glenn McGrath to give him 5 wickets. And what no better way to do it than knocking the middle stump right out of the ground. So Australia have now taken the series. It's a best of 3 series. They can't be beaten, having won the first 2. And Glenn McGrath really is improving with every game. .155 the winning margin to Australia, and Glenn McGrath his 5th wicket as he knocks middle stump right out of the ground. So he really polished that tail off quickly.
The Pakistan batting, it wasn't a very good effort at all. Bowled out, all out for 220. Amir Sohail scoring 57. Inzamam Ul-Haq offered some resistance, scoring 40, and the captain Wasim Akram 33. But a very dismal display. They batted poorly, and consequently they lost the series. For Australia, a wonderful bowling performance by them and a very good effort in the field. Greg Blewett picking up 2 wickets. He really changed things around when Mark Taylor brought him on. But have a look at the man of the moment, Glenn McGrath. 5 for 61. And he really was the pick of the Australian bowlers. Paul Rifle chipped in, 3 for 42. And all in all, a wonderful performance by them. Wasn't a very difficult decision to pick who was going to be man of the match. It was Mark Taylor, the Australian captain. He scored a wonderful century. He's won the series, and he's done a great job. Everything out on the field today, that he changed the bowlers around, everything went very, very well for him, and he'll be very happy with that, taking the series out 2-0. There still is one test match to go in this series. It's in Sydney. We'll be bringing that to you live from the SCG on the 30th of November until the 4th of December. Tickets available through Ticketek. The number 02-266-4800. It'll give the Pakistanis an opportunity to save some face from what's been a pretty dismal performance in this series to date. We've had a wonderful time here at Bellerive. We've seen some wonderful cricket played. The Australians just too good for the Pakistanis. I hope you've enjoyed it, but for the moment, from Bellerive in Hobart, good night.